What's up, everybody? We got another episode of Puro Pinche Party where we have some pretty cool things lined up. With us, we have Venancio, owner of Kingpin Customs.
Kingpin Customs.
Kingpin Customs, there we go. And we have Mr. VIP himself,
Badass
Bicho.
dude here.
So, right now, we just finished, Bicho finished up a tattoo on Venancio of his logo. Later on we'll post it on the Instagram, but right now we're hanging out with him, and what Venancio's specialty is that he's an artist, like amongst others, brings life to earth and also does a lot of dope shit that not a lot of people could do.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
So essentially what he does, he engraves, laser engraves, whether it's your grandpa's old boot knife, an old hammer. But what we have in front of us is a couple of firearm slides. Venancio, how did you even get into this?
So by trade, I work in finance, so pretty much like accounting, business stuff, and there's points in my career where I'm like, there's got to be more to life than working in some Excel sheets all day,
Crunching numbers,
and
The math wasn't mathing up.
the math wasn't, well, it's mathing up, but maybe, I don't know, I figured things could go a little different, you know what I'm saying? And
Do what you like.
do what I like. So I'm a big firearm enthusiast.
okay.
From I love training. I like upgrading my stuff. But because
As most of us men do.
yeah, as most everyone I know that's into this does.
Reminds you of Tim Allen. Thank you.
And so like you said, not a lot of people do this. And when it first started kicking off a few years back, I found a couple guys across the country that on Instagram that did it. So I started following them, and in my mind I was immediately obsessed.
Okay.
I just saw it and I was like, wow.
So when you get these customers, how does one, let's say from an inquiry to you, how does that conversation go? Like, hey, I saw your work, or this is what I want to do, and then what's the next process of it?
Yeah, basically, I'll ask like, hey, what is it exactly that you want to do? Because questions like how much does it cost? It's like tattoos, right?
It's worth it.
Like if it's a little small tattoo, it's gonna be this much. If you want a full sleeve, it's gonna be this much. That's the same thing with this.
Do you want a Honda Civic or you want the Bentley?
Yeah, so I kind of just start off.
No offense to the Honda Civic guys. I know you guys love your Honda Civics.
And so kind of the conversation starts there. Like, what are you looking to do? Some people are just literally say like, I'm not too sure, I just want to do something. So I'll just point them to the page first.
Yeah.
Follow me on Kingpin 1325 on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I'll say, you're not limited to that, but use that as a foundation for what it is you want to do. So one thing I always tell them too is see what you like, but I can create anything that you want.
Pretty much imagination is your barrier.
Yeah, let your imagination run wild like a tattoo. You're already paying a good, amount of money for this.
Yeah.
We might as well, whatever it is you're thinking of, let's make it happen on some metal.
Yeah.
But with like tattoos, like, oh, you see that style, so they're looking at it like, oh, you know what? I like that style. I want that. Because I met Venancio through a friend of ours, a client of mine, who doing some really cool tattoos. Again, thankful for people doing cool tattoos. I saw his, and we were talking because he's another god dude, into a whole, upgrading and doing that stuff. And I saw it, and I was like, wow, damn, that's bad, like that's cool. Then he showed me his page. I'm like, man, like, and like you find it, and that's what you want, man. Instantly, like I was. Now you've done a couple pieces for me, and I was blown away. So, yeah, I think you even doing customs, like yeah, because he gave me the option too. Like, hey, you know, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but in the end, you know, I'm like, you're the artist. You know what's up. You know, this is your craft, not mine. Just like when people ask me, you know, hey, let me handle what I do. And very talented man. Very talented man.
Yeah, you too, bro. And I'm sure the same thing for Bicho. You know, like you know that it's gonna, like, this is permanent, right, on metal, but his is permanent on skin. You know, same kind of you know, it's permanent. But I always want to do something like, I guess you could call it one off.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, it's gonna be a one of one.
Right. And that's what, you know, I always pressure you to do, you know, but at the end of the day, I do what the customer wants.
Yeah.
You know, if you just want this, all right, cool, that's what we're going to do. But, yeah, and it's not even limited to this. It's, I do grips. I'm trying to get into the car game too. So I've done a set of hubcaps, some dually hubcaps. Those are on my page.
Oh, the ones you did for the Mamalona Fest.
Yeah.
Man, those are cool, man.
If you guys haven't checked out Mamalona Fest, check it out. It's past this year, but next year, keep an eye out for that.
It was cool. I saw that and I was like, man, that's, you know, like, people like cars and guns, just cool stuff. Like, that was cool. So
Yep, I do knives. Early on, I didn't take pictures of everything I did. I did a set of clippers for a barber. I did a Louis Vuitton design on those. You know.
Oh man, I know a couple of barbers might need some stuff. So if y'all need some stuff,
So it's really anything that's metal. You know, I've done.
So, is there a difference of metals, whether it's aluminum, whether it's, you know, stainless steel? Like, what's the best stuff that you like to work with? Or explain that.
Right. So as far as the metal goes, I would say it depends on the application, right? Aluminum, we all know, is soft. So if someone's gonna come and say, hey, like let's say a knife with aluminum knife scales, and they tell me I want it engraved and I want them high polished, like a mirror, I can definitely do that. The thing is with aluminum is it's very soft. So right away, the first thing you're gonna notice just from pulling it in and out of your pocket is you're gonna start getting like micro scratches.
So it's pretty much for application, whether you're gonna be just showing it off on a display or actually, you know, busting it out.
it's a good thing a lot of knives ain't made out of aluminum.
Right, and like the ones that I've seen that are aluminum scales are the automatic ones, the ones that come out the front.
Yeah.
Like you said, not too many, but I always encourage stainless steel.
Okay.
And the reason is it's more durable, obviously.
Like
even if you want it, even if you want it mirror polished, and let's say it's your carry gun or your everyday knife, or let's say you're a bartender and it's your bottle opener.
Yeah.
After some use.
You just gave me a good idea, man. We need to do some custom bottle openers.
Yep, and so the beauty of that is that it scratches up or it gets a little dull. Just repolish it.
Yeah.
And now you're back to new. Where if you're doing a carbon steel, like maybe like that Glock slide, or even that 1911 slide. That 1911 slide needs to be refinished still, but let's say it's already refinished and you're using it on a daily. It's like now it's a two-step, right? Now you rebuff it, repolish it, and then refinish it. Stainless steel, if mirror is what you want, you know, like there's no refinishing.
Yeah.
And it's harder, more durable. And easy to touch up.
Yeah, but a lot of people, they don't. It's not their everyday carry. It's more, you know, showing off, you know. So
Yeah.
Almost like a little costume they got going on, you know.
it's, hey, you know, look, para dominguear, like they say, you know, hey, like that nice pair of boots you got, you know.
Right.
No, these are just for the weekend, you know.
Yeah.
I did see on your Instagram that you did do a couple of boots. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I'm like, again, I'm trying to get very diverse with this, and I actually have an old pair of boots that they got some chemical spilled on them. So I mean, they're really old anyway, and I was just like, well, let me burn them. Let me see
what's up.
Let me see what happens.
That's
you know,
exactly that's how art happens.
Yeah, that's how art happens. And now,
A happy little mistake.
to be fair, you know, I'm gonna have to do some fine tuning on my machine to get a crispier image. But where I also did initially practice is on the hat patches. They're called leatherettes.
Okay.
And what's cool about those, it looks like leather. You guys have seen them.
Yeah.
A lot of hats have them.
I got a hat that I get made that's the leather, and it has the logo on there with the diamond and everything.
So I have a setting on that where like it just does the color change. So if it's like a leather color, whatever you want burned on there is just black, and you know that's cool.
Just give me good. You just give me more ideas.
Yeah. So but you know, again, like right now, there are different types of lasers that do different things. Mine is a fiber laser, so there are limitations. Like I can't do wood and glass and stuff, but
Not yet.
But with whatever I can do, I'm messing with it. Like even the business card. So I did that VIP business card. It's a metal one. So I've already done 2 sets of metal business cards, which are cool, right? Especially, I think the paper ones. You know, we all know you stuff them in your wallet or in a drawer, and they start getting bent up. But now you got metal.
Yeah.
And it's always gonna.
Yeah,
keep its form.
I've gotten some Glencairns made for when we do our tastings and stuff, and I've had other ones done from different companies. And what I've seen is that it's laser, or I would think it's laser. Maybe it's sandblasted, but sometimes it's very. One of them was very surface, and the other one was really like in there. And it's like, all right, no matter how many times you wash it, it's gonna stay there. Would you say that's something that you pride yourself in? Because even in these slides, I see that it's not just something surface. It's like in there. Like you said, no matter how many times they're going to use this, the slide on whatever firearm that it goes to, that it's more for usability.
Yeah. Now, I definitely pride myself in doing, good quality work. So what you see here is exactly what you said. Like if a customer wants specific design, like from design to the finish, I'm gonna try to do the best that I can.
Yeah.
I love mine.
Yeah. And but again, depending on the application, I will always advise the customer, hey, this is what I would go with. If there's some kind of limitation to what they're trying to do, like, I'm always gonna try to give them the best advice. I'm not, if someone wants.
I mean, you are the professional.
Yeah, and if I don't know, I'm gonna look it up, right? So, but yeah, like depending on the application, I will always, advise, like, if there's any, like when Bicho did that Glock slide, I'm like, hey, the usability of it, the Glock paint will wear off.
Yeah.
Just like any finish really is gonna wear off, or anything, that you use over and over. So
the elements will obviously wear it down.
Yeah.
But that's why you also take care of your stuff,
Yeah, well, even a rock, rock's gonna wear out over time, and it's life.
Yeah. So that's always my first question. What's the application for this? I would say 9 times out of 10 for stuff like this, like you said, people want an item that they're going to show off here and there.
101.
Yeah, they're going to show off. It's very rare that someone's going to have a daily carry, unless you're Bicho, right?
Yeah. Well, it is, again, why you're here, because you do badass stuff. And again, we do some, we're showing off high-end tequilas, high-end spirits, high-end tattoos. This isn't everybody. It's some VIP stuff. So
yeah, it's VIP only, right? Yeah, and like anything else, anything that's good costs money, right? You want to have a good drink, you want to have anything good, it's gonna cost some money.
Yeah, man, we actually just did an event in Highwood where it was a Bloody Mary fest, and for someone that nobody even knew, we weren't even part of the Highwood community. We came in and the recipe was like very authentic. Like I think I woke up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, literally just shaving off with pepinos and doing all this stuff, getting all my stuff fresh, and I made gallons of it, and everybody loved it. I ended up
trophy.
I took a trophy home.
Yeah.
It's the quality.
People's choice.
Yeah, people's choice. People loved, not the judges, and I finished it, and it was crazy. So like, that's what I always think of, a quality when people actually put their heart and soul into it. That's what they want. They don't something mass produced.
Right.
But I have what I've seen, unpopular opinion. Laser engraving over hand engraving. What's your take on that? Obviously, the hand engraving is generational. It's
Right.
usually an old some old
Yes.
guy tick tick tick, or whether it's metal or whether it's leather, all that. What's your take on it?
I would say, definitely that's the most top notch. Like me personally, I can spot hand engraving, obviously, like right away.
Yeah.
But that also comes with a price tag.
Oh yeah.
So like, again, like, do I eventually want to get something that's hand engraved? Yes, I do.
Yeah. So you're what you so you as
I
a-
respect it.
Yeah, exactly. There's a thing to it, and even with that, there's very slight imperfections, but
Right.
But still, like, not to. I don't want anybody out there thinking that what he does is subpar. If you look at these slides, they're immaculate. They're very
you.
precision pieces to anybody's liking.
A good use of technology.
Yeah, a very good use of technology.
And I would say
And I'm not a technology dude, so I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no. But that exactly, you brought up a good point with laser, the versatility of it.
Yeah.
Now it's like you want your slide or whatever, your hub, your rim cap or your knife. You want it to have 10 different things, 10 different embedded images within like the background, no problem.
Yeah.
And exact, right? Because like for your logos, I actually received his digital file.
Yeah.
So now exactly how you see his logo everywhere, that's exactly how it is on his items. Or
VIP, baby.
Yeah, or if I get something from you, your logo or anybody else's, I'm going to give you exactly how it would appear on any one of your business cards.
That's a VIP service.
Yeah.
A VIP.
And with hand engraving, obviously the more I imagine, you would want to, like, there's limitations, right? You're not going to get maybe like a facial image.
I'm not gonna get a guy that's gonna make me a bunch of cards and be happy about it.
Right, but again, I think it's like any other craft. There's levels to it. That's definitely more artisanal. Definitely requires like a lot more patience, practice, because everything's by hand at that point.
Yeah.
I think for the purposes that we're talking about, this is where like the price and the quality is that happy medium right there now.
Yeah.
There's levels to it.
What about the turnaround time? Would you say it's a happy medium?
For me personally, it depends on what's in the pipeline at the moment.
We're all human.
So if there's like 10 different projects going on, I will always advise that, hey, there's 10 people in front of you. It's X amount of time.
But just like anything, when you make an appointment for your doctor, your lawyer, your anything, you gotta patience.
And I don't like to rush through anybody's project. I don't care how big or small it is. Again, I want, just like Beecher does it with his tattoos. Like, you want them coming back. You want them, like I tell him all the time, I want you to like pick up your piece and like love it every single time that you see it, right? Just like the tattoos that he's done for me. I tell him all the time, I love them. I see them every day. I love them. There's that's the same reaction. Same thing with you. You come up with your own recipe for an event, and you want the people to react accordingly.
It's
people's choice over here. People's choice.
You gotta layer it. You gotta start with your base and build on that base. Whether it's a cocktail or whether it's a engraving, whether it's tattoos, not everybody can get tattooed. Not everything can get engraved. Not everything can, and there's a lot of layers to it, and us as professionals have to lay down the foundation of what's possible and what's not, and be able to communicate with those customers.
Right.
But I liked it too, because when I was getting mine, he's, you're realistic about it, just like with anything. Like, hey, well, this is the reality. This is what's possible. But yeah, like I said, when we first met, doing this stuff, it was a little bit busy, and I'm like, you know what? Hey, take your time. I want this thing to be badass. So to me, I was happy, like yeah, like I look at, and I'll still stare at it, and I'm like, oh, look at it. Oh, man, my guy here.
No, and it's you know, again, at the end of the day, I do what the customer wants. You know, so like with Bicho's stuff, you know, I wanted to go crazy. Remember, I kept telling you, like, let me go crazy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, we did what he wanted.
It was only one that was simple. Everything else he made badass. I just wanted simplicity, you know. Like,
Yeah.
And the same thing with the tattoo. You know, we did. I'm like, you sure you don't want more?
Well, yeah, that's true. You know, I'm you know, he wants to go, you know, all out, and for me, like, everything has been, I don't know.
Everybody has their own style.
Right.
Everybody has their own style.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but like I said, when I met it, I saw him. I'm like, man, dude, I was impressed, and man, again, that's why we're here, and now our paths collided, and here we are. You know,
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy that you were able to come out. You know, my brother. I told you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. Happy to have you. So, Venancio, when you start getting into your zone, you start doing these great creations, like, what's that vibe? Because I know when I'm bartending, I had this vibe where, like, I'm Tom Cruise in Bartender. I think that's the movie.
Cocktail.
You know, Cocktail. I guess I'm not from the 80s, but, like,
I
doing
am.
these really cool
I'm more of a Top Gun guy.
doing these really cool concoctions. I feel like almost like a scientist, but like when I'm doing these mocktails for the kids, or, you know, like, not even kids, because sometimes adults get them, I feel like Willy Wonka, and all I'm doing is bringing like a good sensation to their food palate. What's the vibe? Like, I usually got some cumbias playing. I usually got some, you know, something that somebody can vibe to, because if you ever look at my setup, my bar was built, you know, I got the help from Beach. I got help from my brother Junior. I got help from my brother Jimmy. Like, that thing was hand built for what I wanted, for the vibe that I wanted to give
A
off.
party.
Yeah, essentially a party. Because
Puro pinche party.
even the feedback that I get, they're like, wow, you know, it makes me just want to sit here and just have a drink. I was like, sorry, pal, drink, you gotta go if you want. Party's in the back. But what's the vibe you set up when you're working?
Yeah. So my vibe, honestly, like, it depends on the mood I'm in, and sometimes it even depending on what the customer wants.
Yeah.
You know, but most of the time, like, my music playlist is so erratic.
Yeah.
But it's
Erratic, not erotic.
yeah, erratic. So it can go from like corridos to, like, I don't know. I've looked up music in other languages I don't understand, but, you know, it sounds good, you know. So,
Tastes
like,
good. Taste it.
yeah, but you know, it's usually later night, you know. Most of the time it's more of a chill vibe, but, you know, if I got to get in the zone, like, you know, like you guys,
Yeah.
you know, like, yeah, depending on what I'm feeling that day, but I usually definitely late night. Most of the time it's more chill music. I like to, for me, like, the designing part, that's a therapy right there.
What makes a good one from a bad one, though? Like a good, like, let's say, like a good laser engraver. I mean, obviously the tools that you use, you want to use a high quality tool.
Right.
You know, you have to have the eye for it.
Right.
What would you say that?
I would say the eye has, you know, just like any other, like, visual type of art or craft. But I think versatility. Same thing with the drinks.
Yeah.
Tattooing styles. I think versatility, like me. My customer base is mostly raza. So
Yeah.
the filigree, the scroll work is what I get the most requests of. That's why you see so much of it. But, like, for example,
It's cool.
yeah, I mean, you don't see it too often. But, like, for example, the Glock slide up top, that customer wanted a custom Gucci design.
I like that.
Ooh, this one.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that was cool as hell.
again, with him, I wanted to do something a little different. He wanted to keep it more traditional with, like, his little, you know, the images that he wanted. But just that versatility that I can go from scrolling to a Gucci design to
pretty
I've
cool.
done, like, geometric patterns. So versatility, I think, is key right now, especially because a lot of the scroll, unless you're a graphic designer, you got to buy those scroll patterns. So you're gonna see that a lot of the gun engravers we're all using, like, the similar templates because, you know, it's a very limited source.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to encourage, like, let's do something one-off. Do I, you know, sometimes take a template and kind of modify it, I do, just to make it different.
Yeah.
Because if, let's say you guys both choose the same scroll design, yeah, they might be the same design, but hey, your end product is different than yours.
Yeah.
You know? So the versatility, that's what I think like makes you stand out a little bit. Because
this Gucci one's really cool. It has the Gucci. It has like was like a tiger.
yeah, the Gucci tiger.
And I believe you have pictures on your Instagram, right? This one.
That one before it was polished, yes.
Yeah. So what's something that a customer would say that's really out there, or what's also something that you would say is almost like people say there's no such thing as stupid questions. I beg to differ, but for you, as you know what you do, what's something that's really out there that you're like, you know what, this isn't the kind of client that I want. Because sometimes, even as tattoo artists, as you know, whatever inquiries we're getting, it's like, you know what, maybe this isn't the right thing for you. Maybe you should, look for somewhere else.
Yeah, like I'm obviously not gonna do anything that's gonna be like real hateful or something that goes against my morals or my faith. I don't encourage like any like violent like type stuff, so like you said, hey, if that's what you want, like there's just certain things I don't do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't sell guns, jackass.
Yeah, just like that. That's a stupid question. Hey, can you sell me one of yours? No, I don't do that. But as far as the designing goes, like I think like just anything that I don't know is anything that anybody like generally would deem inappropriate. I'm not doing that.
I like that. When I saw, I'm like, I want something like that, but I don't want that.
Right.
Like, you're like, oh, well, you can make. Like when you told me, oh, you can make whatever you want. I'm like, oh, man. My mind. It took me a little while because I didn't know what I would want to do. I'm like, let me think. And I don't know how, talking to you, that like inspired me to be like, oh, I can do whatever I want, But at the same time, I told hey, well, you're a professional, help me, and I'm happy with the pieces that he's done. This is only one of them that he's done, but with that precision of using a laser, I really love that. Like with my logo, like that thing can be duplicated on, and it's been duplicated on a couple of my pieces, our pieces, and that's. That was kind of goes into what you had asked him about the whole being an engraver and doing stuff. Like I like the precision on that. Like I'm sure if I asked an engraver to do this, he'd probably be like, what? Like you want me to do how many pieces? Because who owns just one gun?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
people own 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like multiple.
This is America.
Yeah. Thank you, Second Amendment.
Yeah.
I like that part, and to me, like I appreciate that clean precision look at,
let me elaborate on where that came from. So so obviously, like I told you guys, I work in finance, so the majority of my career I've always had to do presentations like in PowerPoint. And honestly, a lot of like the visual part, like what you said, like earlier, like it has to be visually appealing and everything. So the OCD of like having everything spaced as perfectly as possible, the proportions as applicable, like obviously I'm not gonna blow up your logo all big to where it's unproportionate to the segment, to the part on the slide, or to the design and all. That all came from like years of doing PowerPoint, believe it or not. As nerdy as that sounds,
Who never thought?
Yeah, who would have ever thought?
Well, I mean, that's artistry, just like with anything, proportion. That's a big part of artistry, to make it look good. Because if it doesn't fit good, then
right, like, so I'm not. I guess what I'm trying to say with that too is I'm not a fan of just like dropping things in here and there.
Yeah.
Like. It has to fit in the area. It has to go with the area of wherever it's going. Like the Gucci tiger,
It has to be aesthetically pleasing.
Yes, and like proportional and accurate to. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a little bit of science, the way I look at it.
Yeah.
See, that's why I told like I like it, and I told him like just you're the artist, you know what you're doing, because I know this time we'd be like, all right, here, we we're sending emails or texts, whatever, you're trying to get everything in order. Like, dude, you know better than me, So sometimes you gotta trust your artist, It's like I tell people, you just trust your artist, Like, you came to me because you saw what I like, saw what I do, you like it. I did this, Like, I've seen. If you go to his Instagram, you got a bunch of pictures, and you're just impressed. You're like, wow, like, okay, and he did them, you did them, like just trust me, I got this,
Yeah. And I think I feel like that's difficult in general, right? For all of us, it's like to just blindly trust, right? Like,
yeah, but I don't think you're going in blind. Like I said, like people see it and then they say, oh, yeah, that's the guy that I want to do my stuff.
like yeah, I feel like with you it's a little different because he's an artist, right?
It's like, well, it's like, don't be modest, let that dick swing.
So with Bicho, I took a slightly different approach. He's a tattoo artist, so when he's telling me what he wants, like I'm like, all right, that's what he wants. Where sometimes I'll get a customer and they'll say, hey, I want this and this, and in my mind it's like, no, you really want this,
yeah.
Right? So what I'll do sometimes is like, I'll draft up what they want.
A couple of mock-ups, yeah.
Yeah, I'll mock up whatever it is that they're looking for, and then I'll point out certain things, right? Because again, it's not to bash a design, but like, I want it to be like, wow, every time
you're representing your stuff,
right.
Like, hey, look, this is, I can do what you want, but I can do it better.
Right, so I'll usually mock it up and say, hey, this is what you asked for.
This is what you're envisioning.
And I don't know, I'm like, I had a little bit extra time, so I mocked up like my version of it.
Yeah.
And, sometimes they want to stick to theirs. Sometimes they're like, oh, no, that's what I wanted. Or sometimes it's a merger of the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, when I'm in my zone and that vibe and I'm designing this, like, I'm designing it like if it was going to be mine.
Yeah.
What do I want to look at?
That's what's up. Yeah.
So.
Well, time for the fun questions. If you were able to...
Like, no, I'm not single. I'm getting married next week. He's off the market, ladies. My guy, he's off the market, but
If you were able to engrave something within history, what would you do? What would be? You could be like, well, I guess John Wick's not in history, but you know what? It's a history movie. You could do... would you do Lancelot's sword? Would you do fucking the Mandalorian pistol? Like, what would you engrave? What would be your most like
the God's chalice?
Share it.
I would probably say, like, obviously, like I said earlier, I'm a firearms enthusiast, so I would want to engrave something for someone that was gonna use a firearm, possibly. I would
Carlos Hathcock? One shot, one kill?
Man, I would have loved to have done something for like Pancho Villa or something,
Ooh.
like Emiliano Zapata,
Nice.
one of their guns, like, because they're so embedded in history. There was a tool that they used, and then imagine if they had something just off the wall like that, like just bam in your face, kind of just goes with their history, with their persona,
Yeah.
Man, your answer's better than mine.
I know.
So what would your answer be?
Man, I just...
If you were able to tattoo anybody, who the fuck would you tattoo?
I don't know. You know what? I don't know. Like I said, I've tattooed a bunch of cool people. Like I said, even him. Like just like artists. People that be like, hey, it's weird. The universe just works and it just puts you in line with those people that you need in your life to say, you know what, this is nunca. And I have it on my wall. Don't forget why you started.
Yeah.
Nunca olvides por qué empezaste. And we started because we want people that throughout my life, in artistry, this is what I do. I want people that want my art, not people that want, oh, well, here, I saw this guy producing this stuff, can you do this? Yeah, I'm artistic, I do whatever, but in my art, I've done more art history related stuff. So again, you know, and he has a bunch of stuff in line that we're gonna be doing. And like I said, this should be personal, you know. That tells a story. It tells our story, you know. So I'm happy that we met, you know. Like again, you know, this is
Crossing paths.
yeah. So I don't know, like tattoo Jesus, I guess, you know. Put a big old
The J-Man?
yeah, you know.
Alright, let's wrap it up, man. How can people find you on any social media platform? Fucking smoke signals or what?
So right now I'm only on Instagram, Kingpin1325. So that's where I'm at. As I open up other pages, and obviously, like right now, there's like limitations, right? Like
Yeah.
TikTok won't let you like post really anything, which is, you know, obviously you can, but like you wouldn't be able to show like the sites.
I don't even
slide.
think the people that have TikTok are old enough to even own firearms. So
Right. I don't have Facebook and all that, but as all those pages start opening up, I'll post it on my bio in the Instagram page. But right now it's just Instagram.
okay, as far as somebody who's trying to get their first piece of artwork done, what would you recommend they do?
Just DM me,
Okay.
and then again, just talk through what it is they're trying to do, and then kind of go from there.
All right, awesome. Well, it was great having you. A lot of information, a lot of fun stuff that I didn't know. Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. See you guys next time.